Hello, welcome to the flat online classes. So in this lecture, we will study push-down automata part 2. Here we study push-down automata and its relationship with the context-free languages. So here one theorem: for every context-free language L, there is an NPD M such that L is equal to L of M. So given a context-free grammar, you can construct equivalent NPD such that the language is accepted by that NPD. So the construction process is very simple and it is given in the next slide. So constructing NPD from context-free languages, it is a very simple process. Suppose G is equal to V, T, S, P be a context-free grammar that generates context-free language. We construct an NPDAM is equal to Q0, Q1, QF. NPDA with the three states, and Q0 is the starting state and QF is the final state. T is the terminal, V union Z, V is the variable, and Z is the stack start symbol. Delta Q0 Z QF, where Z does not belong to V. That is the stack start symbol is not a part of the variable. So here we have four steps. The step one, if the grammar is not in GNF, convert it into GNF. And step two, if Q0 is the start state and Z is the initial stack start symbol, then without consuming any input, push the start symbol S onto the stack and change the state to Q1. So this is given by delta Q0 lambda Z is equal to Q1 SZ. This means that initially we are in the state Q0, we are not reading any input, that means lambda, and Z is on the top of the stack. Then we are changing to the state Q1 by pushing the start symbol S onto the stack. Now we have to convert each of the productions of the form A gives A U into transition rules. So A gives AU means that we are reading A and replacing capital A from the top of the stack by U. So this grammar rule is equivalent to the transition function delta Q1A is equal to Q1U. This means that we are in the state Q1, we are reading A and capital A is on the top of the stack. We are in the same state Q1, replacing A by U. Finally, to get M into final state, we have the transition function delta Q1 lambda Z is equal to QF Z. The step 2 and step 4 are same for all the problems that we are solving in the subsequent lecture. So consider following problems. So construct a NPDA corresponding to the grammar. S gives A, B, S, B, or lambda. So you can see that this grammar is not in Greybach normal form. So we have already studied the Greybach representation in the previous chapter. So recalling Greybach normal form, all the production it is of the form A gives A X, where small a belongs to T terminal and X belongs to the set of variables. So we first convert the given grammar into Greybach normal form, that S gives A or lambda, and A gives B as B, and B gives B. So we have converted the given grammar into Gray-Bach normal form. Then, as studied in the previous slide, we convert this grammar into transition function. The second step is that we are in the state Q0, we are not reading any input, Z is on the top of the stack, push start symbol onto the top of the stack and change the state to Q1. This is denoted by this rule. So this is denoted by Q0 lambda Z is equal to Q1 SZ. That is what we have studied in the previous slide. Next, we convert each of these production rules into transition function. S gives A is written as, we are in the state Q1, we are reading A, and S is on the top of the stack. We are going to the state Q1, replacing top element S from the stack by A. So this is the equivalent transition function for this grammar rule. Similarly, S gives lambda is given by delta Q1 lambda Z, lambda X, S, lambda S. S is the top symbol, top element of the stack, and we are not reading anything, that is lambda. We are going into the state Q1 lambda. We are not doing any changes to this top element of the stack. Similarly, A gives B as B is means that we are reading B. A is on the top of the stack. Replace A by SB. This is denoted by delta Q1 BA is equal to Q1 SB. Similarly, BB is given by converted into transition function as we are reading B and B is on the top of the stack and doing nothing on to the top element of the stack. That is Q1 BB is equal to Q1 lambda. Finally, we have the step 4, that is delta Q1 lambda Z is equal to QF Z. So we are going into the final state. So this is denoted by delta Q1 lambda Z is equal to QF Z. So this construction process is similar to the construction rule that we studied in the previous slide. So consider another problem. Construct NPDA corresponding to the grammar. S gives A, B, B, A gives A, B, 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 B gives B, 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 A. Since the grammar is already in GNF, hence we have the transition function is given below. We have to convert each of these grammar rules into transition function. So the first step is similar to the previous problem. That is, we are in the state Q0 without reading anything. That is on the top of the stack. We are changing the state to Q1, push start symbol onto the stack. And remaining transition rules are obtained from this grammar rules. S gives A, B, B is given by Q1. We are reading A, S is on the top of the stack. We are in the state Q1, replace S by A, B, B. Similarly, S gives A is given by Q1 AS is equal to Q1 AA. Similarly, converting the grammar rule, A gives A, B, B as we are in the state Q1 reading A is on the top of the stack. We are in the state Q1 replacing A by BB. Similarly, A gives B. This grammar rule is represented using a transition function. We are in the state Q1 reading B. A is on the top of the stack is given by Q1 lambda. We are not doing any modification to the stack. Similarly, B gives BB is given by, we are in the state Q1 reading B. B is on the top of the stack. We are again in the state Q1 replacing B by BB. Similarly, B gives A is given by delta Q1. We are not reading anything, and B is on the top of the stack. We are in the same state Q1. replacing B by A. Finally, we have the final accepting state. Delta Q1 lambda Z is equal to QFZ, where QF is the final state. So this is very simple process. We have to convert each of these grammar rules into equivalent transition function. The first transition function and the last transition function is same for all the problems. This is the starting transition function, and this is the final transition function. So consider another problem. Find NPDF for the language L is equal to a to the power of n plus 1, b to the power of 2n, n is greater than or equal to 0. So first we have to construct the grammar that accepts this language. The grammar that accepts L is given by. So when n equal to 0, we have to get A. Therefore, we have the rule S gives A. And n equal to 2, n equal to 1, we have to get A square b to the power of 4. So this is a recursive rule for getting all the strings in this language is denoted by S gives A, S, B, B. So S, B, B. So we will get all the rules in this grammar. We will get all the strings in this grammar using this grammar rules. So this is not in Grayback normal form. We're changing the production to these productions. After converting to GNM, we will get these rules. S gives A, S, A, or A, and A gives B, B, and B gives B. So hence we have the transition function is given by delta Q0 lambda Z is equal to Q1 SZ. So this is the initial rule. We are in the state Q0 without reading anything. Z is on the top of the stack. Push S onto the stack and changing the state to Q1. So similarly, this grammar rule S gives A, SA, and or A is represented as delta Q1 A S is equal to Q1 SA and Q1 lambda. Similarly, A gives B is represented by Q1 BA, Q1B, and finally BB is represented by Q1 BB is equal to Q1 lambda. Finally, we have the acceptance state delta Q1 lambda Z is equal to QFZ. So this is very simple to convert to find NPDF from the given context-free language or context-free grammar. So these are some problems for practice. This is very easy. In this case, you have to convert each of this grammar into GNL. Then only you can able to use the construction of the previous method, that is construction that we studied in the previous slide. So next topic that we will going to discuss is deterministic DPDA. I hope you already understood NPDA, non-deterministic push-down automata. In the deterministic push-down automata, you have at all times only one move is possible, only one transition is possible. Formally, we define DPDA as follows. A PDAM is equal to Q sigma tau delta Q0 ZF is said to be deterministic if for every Q belongs to Q, A belongs to sigma union lambda and B belongs to tau, we have two conditions. One is delta QAB contains at most one element. That means there is only unique transition for each state and for each state and for same element on the top of the stack. If delta Q lambda B is not empty, then delta Q C B must be empty for every C belongs to sigma. So the condition 1 simply states that for any given input A and any element on the top of the stack, only one move is possible. So that is very simple. Condition 2 implies that for a if there is a lambda transition, that is delta Q lambda B, there should not be any transition from the state Q when top of the stack is B. So alternate move is not possible whenever there is a lambda transition for the same element on the top of the stack. So we have seen that NFA and DFA are equivalent, but here it is not so. NPD and DPD are not equivalent. In fact, we will see later that palindrome WWR is accepted by NPDA but not by DPD. And another point that we note here is that in the case of determinism, at all times only one move is possible. So these two conditions are very simple to understand. Condition 1 is only one move is possible, and condition is 2 states that whenever there is a lambda transition, there should not be any other transition from the state Q when top of the stack is B. So let us go through some simple examples. So in DPDA, the allowed transitions are displayed in this figure. That is Q1 go to Q2 for reading input A, and B is on the top of the stack. B is replaced by W1, and Q1 is go to Q3 when reading A, and C is on the top of the stack, replacing C by W2. So these are the deterministic choices because top symbol on the top of the stack is different, even though it is reading same input, but top symbol on the top of the stack is different. Similarly, we will go to state Q2 from Q1 without reading anything, lambda, and B is on the top of the stack is replaced by W1. And we can go to Q3 without reading any symbol, lambda, and C is on the top of the stack replaced by W2. So these are the deterministic choices. These are deterministic choices, unique choices. A language is said to be a deterministic context-free language if and only if there exists a DPDAM such that L is equal to L of M. So to show that a language is deterministic context-free, you should be able to construct a deterministic PD. So for example, the language L is equal to A to the power of N, B to the power of N, N is greater than or equal to 0 is deterministic context-free. So previously we have constructed NPDA for A to the power of N. You might refer the slides on NPDA. Now we construct a DPDA for this particular language, A to the power of N, B to the power of N. So show that the language L is equal to A to the power of N, B to the power of N is a deterministic context-free language. So we have to construct DPDA for L. Here, our DPDA should satisfy the conditions 1 and 2 that we stated earlier. So here logic is that we have to push all the A's onto the stack. We have to push all the A's onto the stack. So once we finishes pushing all the A's, when we read B, we have to pop those A's so that we can get a matching. That is equal number of A's and equal number of B's. So DPDA, there are 3 states, Q0, Q1, Q2. And Q0 is the starting state as well as final state because this DPDA accepts lambda also. So in the state Q0, we are reading A, Z is on the top of the stack. We are pushing A onto the stack and going to the state Q1. And in Q1, we are keep on pushing A onto the stack. So once we complete pushing A's, when we read B, that is the middle part, then we are popping those A's and going into the state Q2. In Q2, we are keep on popping. Whenever we read B, we are keep on popping A's from the stack so that we can do the matching. So number of B should match number of A's. So that is what we are using the stack for doing this matching. Finally, we are once we get a match, we are going into the final acceptance state Q0 lambda ZZ. So from this diagram, we can easily check that conditions 1 and 2 of DPDS are satisfied. So there is only one move for each state. You can see that for a same input and same top element on the top of the stack, there is only one move is possible. There is no other move is possible. And condition 2, there is a lambda move at state Q2. There is no other move is possible at the state Q2 with the same element on the top of the stack. Here, of course, there are two moves, but here top element is A, but here top element is Z. They are different moves. Different moves. They are not the non-deterministic moves. They are the different moves. So at all times, we have only one move for each of the states. Therefore, this is deterministic push-down automata. So for example, you can check the acceptance of the string ABB. The sequence of moves ID in accepting the string ABB is given below. Q0, we are in the state Q0, and input string is ABB, and Z is on the top of the stack. So we are pushing A onto the stack and going to the state Q1. So we are keep on pushing the A onto the stack. We are remaining in the state Q1. Once we read B, we are changing the state to Q2, and we are keep on popping those A's. Finally, we enter into the state Q2. So once we consume the input, then we are finally entering into the final state Q0. So consider another example. Show that L is equal to a to the power of n, b to the power of 2n, n is greater than or equal is a deterministic quantity language. So here logic is similar to the previous problem. So number of B's are twice the number of A's. That for each single A, we have to push two A's onto the stack. So we construct a DPDA for L as shown in this figure. We have the three states Q0, Q1, Q2. And in Q0, we are reading A, that is on the top of the stack. We are pushing two A's onto the stack. We are keep on pushing A onto the stack. Once we finish reading A, when we read B, we have to pop those A's to get a match. And we will remain in the state Q2. So once we get a match, we are finally entering into the acceptance state Q0. So you can easily check that conditions 1 and 2 of DPDS are satisfied. So this problem is similar to previous problem. Only difference is that we have the twice the number of B's. For each A, we have the twice the number of B's. For example, consider the sequence of moves in accepting the string A, B, B. So here we are in the state Q0, and we have the input string A, B, B. So we will going into the state Q1 and pushing 2A's onto the stack. And similar reading A, push 2A's onto the stack. When we read B, we have to pop those A's. Keep on popping those A's when we read E. When we read B, finally we have consumed the input. We are in the state Q2. And once we consume the input, we are finally entering into the final state Q0. So consider another example. Is the language WCWR is deterministic? So we have constructed NPDF for WWR. In that case, very difficult to determine the middle of the string. But in this language, we can easily determine the middle of the string. Once we read C, we have come to the we have come to the middle of the string. So this we can design deterministic push down automata for this particular language. So here we have 6 possible rules at state Q0. So when we read A, Z is on the top of the stack, push A onto the stack. We can also read B. When we read B, Z is on the top of the stack, push B onto the stack. Keep on pushing A's onto the stack by using the rule A. Keep on pushing B's onto the stack by using the rule B. When we read A, B is on the top of the stack, push AB onto the stack, push A onto the stack. When we read B, A is on the top of the stack, push B onto the stack. Because all the combinations of the strings are possible. That is A, B, C, B, A, B, A, C, B, A, C, A, B. So these rules are required to consider all combinations of the strings in this particular language, because W belongs to A, B star. Your string can start with A, your string can start with B, etc. So once we come to the middle of the string, then and remember that single C is also accepted using this rule. C, ZZ, and lambda, ZZ. So C is also accepted. So once we come to the middle of the string, we are using the rule CAA or CBB. These rules are used whenever there is A or B on the top of the stack. So we are replacing A by A or B by B and going into the state Q1. So once we read the second part, A, we are reading A is on the top of the stack pop. If we read B, B is on top of the stack pop. So we are remaining in the state Q1. So once we finishes the matching, then we are going into the final acceptance state, that is lambda ZZ Q2. For example, consider the sequence of moves in accepting the string A, B, C, B, A. A, B, C, B, A. It is a string in this particular language. So we are in the state Q0. We are reading the string A, B, C, B, A, Z. Q0, B, C, B, A. We are pushing A onto the stack. Q0, C. We are reading B, push B onto the stack. When we are in the state Q0, we are reading C and replace B by B onto the stack and go into the state Q1. When we read B and B is on the top of stack, pop, we are remain in the state Q1. When we read Q1, when we read A, we are in the state Q1 and A is on the top of stack, pop. So we'll remain in the state Q1. Once we consume in the input, we are finally going into the acceptance state Q2. So these are the some of the practice problems. Show that L is equal to a to the power of n, b to the power of n is m is greater than or equal to n plus 2 is deterministic context-free language. Is the language is a to the power of n, b to the power of n is greater than or equal to 1 union b. So deterministic. Yes, this is deterministic. Answer is similar to the problem number 1 that we solved. Similarly, 3 is similar to 2. Is the language L is equal to a to the power of n, b to the power of n is equal to m, or m is equal to m plus 2 is deterministic. Yes, this is also deterministic. Show that the language L is equal to w belongs to a comma b star such that a number of a's in w is not equal to number of b's in w is deterministic. So these are the simple problems for practice. You solve these problems. So we'll study the NPDA versus DPDA versus regular languages. So regular languages are accepted by DPDA, and we have seen that WCWR is DPD, and DPD is also a subset of NPD. We have seen that WWR is NPD, and we have seen that all the context-free languages are accepted by push-down automata. So what is the relationship between NPD and DPD? So in contrast to finite automata, we have seen that NFA and DFA are equivalent. But here it is not so. Deterministic and non-deterministic push-down automata are not equivalent. For example, the language, the palindrome WWR, W belongs to A comma B star, is not deterministic context-free because there is no DPDA that accepts L. You cannot construct a DPDA for this particular language. We have already constructed NPDA for L. You can refer the NPDA slides, part 1. Similarly, you can show that the language L is equal to a to the power of n, b to the power of union, a to the power of n, b to is not a deterministic context-free because there is no DPDA that accepts L. What is the context-free grammar for this particular language? The language is context-free because we should able to design context-free grammar for this particular language, and we will show that this is not a deterministic context-free. So the grammar for a to the power of n, b to the power of n is very simple. S1 gives a, S1 b lambda, and grammar for a to the power of n, b to the power of 2n is given by S2 is equal to a. For each a, we have two b's, a S2 b lambda. So union of these two will give the grammar for L is equal to a to the power of n, b to the power of n union a to the power of n, b to the power of 2n. So this is the grammar for the given language. This is the context-free grammar for L. S gives S1 or S2. So you can easily construct DPDA for this language. Therefore, this particular language is you can easily construct NPD for this particular language. There is no DPDA exists for this particular language. So one observation there is that the language a to the power of n, b to the power of n, c to the power of n is not context-free because we cannot design push-down automata for this particular language. We have seen that a to the power of n, b to the power of n is context-free, a star, b star is regular. So we will later prove that this particular language is a to the power of n, b to the power of n, c to the power of n is not context-free using pumping lemma later. So one observation is that context-free language is equal to language accepted by PDA. To show that given language is context-free, we should able to design PDA for that particular language. So with this, we come to the end of this lecture on push-down automata part 2. Thank you very much.